here on the outskirts of Zumba. I'm so impressed by this area. It's just amazing. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm going to be quiet for a minute. You can listen to this nature sounds, the animals. I don't know the word. They were telling me in Spanish. I'm pretty fluent in Spanish, but I didn't know the word for this animal. It sounds sort of like crickets. So anyways, I'm right here in the corner of the property. This fence going this way is the property. You can see some of the vegetation, but I just kind of wanted to show this is off the property now, but show a quick view of that, and then we'll go have a okay. So we just entered on foot. The road is really close. It would be less than $1,000 to connect the road. These trees are so beautiful. So here the upper sections have the wooded part. There may be some more wooded sections down below, but this whole upper section going that way is forest. So look at this little part we came across, a little flat section where they're growing some veggies and whatnot. Just beautiful. Those banana trees up there. I'm so blown away by the climate here. I mean, where I live in Landongi currently, which is Malacatos Valley, it's the same climate as Vilcabamba. It's considered really like the best climate in the world, and you know it is. It's basically in the 70s almost all the time. But here is very similar temperature-wise. It's maybe a couple of degrees warmer on average, but very similar temperature-wise. But it's much better air because you're in the Amazonian region, but it's not super humid here. And there are not a lot of bugs at all. I haven't noticed a single bug the entire time I've been here that's bitten me. And just the quality of the nature, and there's no dry season like in Vilcabamba. And you know, you've got dry season, which you know, is not as nice. It's windy that time of year. Don't get me wrong, Vilcabamba is an amazing climate, but I think this climate's actually better. So the property has multiple water sources. It has its own water source, which we'll get to in a minute. This water source is just off the property, but it has a legal right to it, and the water is absolutely pure spring water, and it comes in on this tube. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys explore this with me a little bit. So we walked all the way, sort of the width of the property on the top side. We walked in, and now I'm gonna make my way down and see what we see. Obviously, we're still in the wooded section here. It's gonna be a little bouncy as I walk. One of these days, I'm gonna get a little better set up for these tours. Wow, look at that coffee. Wow, look at that. It's beautiful. Coffee plants. Banana. Guava. I'm just so blown away by the feel out here. The climate, the air, peace, the tranquility. It is amazing. I'm gonna move to this area. Whoa! Slipped there. I'm gonna move to this area probably in about 6 months. Okay, so we just walked through a little coffee section. Back into the sort of jungly feel here. It's almost like hummus, or I don't even know what they say in English. In here, look at that. Making our way through here. So beautiful in here. The wildlife in this region also is incredible. You've got way more wild animals than I'm used to, varieties of wild animals than I'm used to where I live in the Sierra. You've got what they call lions, which are definitely not what we call lions, but they're like little cat, small wild cats, and amazing tropical birds, and I don't know, something that looks like a mongoose. I just saw a wild rabbit a second ago, and about 10 trillion other things. Look at this little thing I came across. No idea what it is. Listen to those birds. Oh, of course they stopped right then. You got parrots here, monkeys. But again, not like a super hot, humid, tropical climate. It's definitely tropical, but not humidity in large amounts, and not heat. You get, low 80s, upper 70s, mid 70s. You'll hit the mid 80s sometimes, but you're not going to be, you're never going to be 90 ever. And you're never cold. Okay, so we made it through that wooded section, and then we come out to this little bit of pasture land, some nice flat areas, nice spot to build. There's a lot of nice spots to build, but definitely this is one of them. So I'm going to swing around here to my left as slowly as possible, because you got to go slow with these cameras, otherwise it makes people dizzy. So that's still on the property there. That is not. Okay, so this is down here looking back up at the wooded section that we came from. And you could do all kinds of coffee and fruit trees in there without having to cut much if any of the trees. ¿El cerco o
Sí, el cerco de éxito.
el primero?
Sí, de ahí va abajo.
Ahí no. Ahí es otro, ya.
No, es la propia todito.
Sí, no, digo la línea de árboles ahí.
Exactamente, sí.
¿Es el límite o el primer cerco ahí?
El primer cerco de allá.
Yeah.
De allá. Baja abajo la quebrada.
Yeah, so the border is there. It goes up the mountain there. Try and turn around here. Give you a bit of a 360. I'd say this is about an 8 or 9 or 9.5 out of 10 on the privacy scale. So here's some more, obviously, flat parts to build. Beautiful spots over there. And then I don't know if you can hear it at all in the video. I'm not gonna walk down there just because it's we have a lot of properties to see today, and it's a nice little hot walk down. But If you can hear it down, way down in that Waco, I don't even know the word in English. There's a stream, and it's obviously a pretty big stream because I can hear it, and I'm probably about 200-300 meters away maybe from it. So there's a beautiful stream that it borders. The property has its own spring as well. Not a big spring. There may be more as well that I'm not aware of, but there's definitely plenty of water. So there's piped in water from very close though, and that's a private water right that they have. Then there's the spring on the property, and then there's the quebrada, the stream down below. Magnificent. Pretty sweet home spot. Pretty sweet home site here. So I'm dressed like this, and you can see the water's just flowing out of the ground there. It gets pretty mucky through here. This is where I'm gonna leave it, but there's another stream, a small stream through here, and then there's a beautiful flat section. There's a bunch more flat sections we haven't seen, but there's a beautiful flat section. Can't see it that well, but it's right there. All the way down there. Definitely a good property for multiple houses, even subdivision, little community, permaculture, agriculture, water, privacy, climate, close enough to Zumba where you can, you know, a good large town. They would even probably call it a small city here, but it's definitely not. Another good home site there. I'm not looking at it from the angle where the views are, but going the other way, the views are phenomenal. Here's a here's a shot of the water coming out of the tube. I was just drinking it. It tastes amazing. So we're just walking out on this footpath that would turn into a road. Costs about $1,000 to do the road. And the spring where that water comes from and where the right is, it's just about 300 meters off the property. So it's very close. I grew up in rural Vermont, and we had the most amazing tasting well water, and drinking out of that tube just gave me flashbacks to that pure Vermont water I used to drink as a kid. Oh, it tasted amazing. So here we are, just a couple hundred meters off the property, back on the main road. This is another 40-hectare property here that's for sale. We're not gonna walk it, but it is beautiful. It's this whole thing. And as you can see, there's a ton of flat sections all through there. Little beautiful little flat part there. Plenty of water. Look at these mountains and these views. It's hard to believe.